Portland police took down and tased a local teenager, and it's all caught on camera. And now some say police went too far.
Before, it was just, the cops are gonna stop you because they're gonna stop you. Now it's like, they're gonna be honest for nothing.
I hope that kids realize that I'm stopping you because that's my job, and I try to explain, you can decide if this is gonna go good or bad, but I have to stop you.
I don't wanna walk in the street with my son on a night when we going home, and I don't wanna have to be stopped or anything or none of that. I should feel safe.
A Ferguson type situation or a Trayvon situation, that could happen here in Portland. What if that cop didn't pull out a taser on Ty? Our city we should not have to come to this. We shouldn't be scared to walk in our own neighborhood.
Caught on camera, a confrontation between Portland police and a 16-year-old in which the teenager is tased and arrested.
Neighbors called 911 reporting vandalism. The teen's brother tells me they were not a part of the vandalism.
They claim that police crossed the line yesterday. However, police tell us that this teenager forced their hand.
The whole thing has students and the principal at that teenager's school pointing out their own problems with police.
When I first heard about it between Ty and the cops, I was devastated. All of us, we've had the bad interactions with the cops. We've had the stop for no reason, the ask us the questions. But to be tased, that hasn't happened to one of us before. About 4 out of the 5-day week, I wake up around 5 and I have practice in the gym at 6. I've been playing basketball since like 5th grade. It's a family sport kind of thing. My mom played basketball and she played college ball. It's kind of something that passes down. My freshman year, if I would catch the bus home from practice, I wouldn't look like a normal person. For example, one time I came down from practice and this cop pulls up and there just happened to be a robbery by City Foods. And he just says, I matched the description. He said, young woman, looked like she was out of breath. I was just like, no, sir, I was at basketball practice. He's like, well, what time is your practice in? And he's like asking all these questions. And I'm just like, if you don't have a probable cause to stop me, then why are you stopping me? But at the same time, I was just like, do not push him the wrong way. Because you know what, at the end of the day, you're 14, he's a grown man. You're a freshman at Roosevelt, and he's a cop. So just, okay, I'm sorry, sir, but it wasn't me. And I'm not saying don't arrest a teenage boy if he stole something from a store. No, if he stole something from a store, he arrest him. That's breaking the law, period. But I'm saying that situation shouldn't happen again with Ty. Or the stopping for no reason shouldn't happen. I think, yeah, a Ferguson type situation or a Trayvon situation, I think that could happen here in Portland. What if that cop didn't pull out a taser on Ty? If he thought he reached for his taser, but he reached for his gun. A lot of teenagers don't think that people escalate quickly. Between Ty and that cop, that happened really quickly. The video is only like, what, a minute something?
Okay, can I ask you a question? What did my little brother do? He don't do nothing. He plays football for Roosevelt. Come on now. He don't drink, he don't smoke, he don't do nothing, bro.
What the fuck?
Why y'all doing that? Why y'all doing that?
Fucking pigs!
You're fucking pigs! What the fuck?
Fucking pigs!
Y'all ain't doing that for
fucking
y'all.
pigs!
That's no reason.
Why you beast? Stop pulling his hair, you fucking pig!
Get down on the ground!
You fucking pig!
Calm down!
Fucking
Ty,
pig!
lay on the ground! Lay on the ground, Ty!
There's this mock trial class at Roosevelt. I took it my sophomore year, and my teacher, she was like, you really know how to argue your point. And she was like, you're really good at it. She was like, I could see you being a lawyer, but she was like, you could be really successful being an investigator or a detective. I was like, really? I just like law, just to like law, but after seeing what happened to Ty and after feeling what happened to myself and all this other things, I was like, oh no, like this can't continue to happen. So I'm going to pursue this so I make sure that it won't happen. When I think about it now, it's just like, I can't change the whole world, but I can change Portland. I can't change this whole state, but I can change this city.
God, we thank you right now because you're that kind of God. And you deserve our praise. You deserve to be thanked.
It starts off with one person. I'll make sure that my city is safe and nobody's being racially profiled in my city, because that's my job.
We gotta go. So we got a fight at one of our behavioral schools. People don't call me when they're having a good day. And I always tell my cadets, hey, if you want a hero, everybody loves all the time, become a fireman. I'm a police officer with the City of Portland. This is my 18th year being an officer. This is my 4th year as a school resource officer.
521 and 510 arriving. 510 doing area check.
God! You're gonna transfer to me at different school? Fuck! I'm not going to freaking school to school.
We don't do, that's not what we do. I have nothing to do with what school you go to. We're just gonna go to the office and figure out what's gonna happen.
We're just gonna do what we think is best then, okay?
We can gladly give you a ride somewhere, but we can't stay here.
Call somebody.
Do you want me to go get the number for Seneca House and you guys can call him?
Absolutely, that's a great.
Does that work for you?
We'll call Seneca House and see if they can bring if they have someone to pick you up.
Okay?
Fucking God.
I actually became a police officer because I was 15 and I was a handful. And a friend of mine was a cadet and said, hey, this is very interesting. You can go into law enforcement through an internship or cadet program. I have been in your spot. I was a cadet with Multnomah County way before any of you guys were born. So I've seen all of it. You will get out of the cadets what you're willing to put into it. Having cops making sure I do what I was supposed to kind of kept me in line and got me refocused on doing other things.
They're trying to get in through the windows.
I try to listen to my radio and I try to listen to calls for service that involve students. I think one of the pieces that people don't realize when I'm looking for a suspect is I don't choose the suspect. I respond to the description.
A couple 17 to 18-year-olds, black male, black jacket, and then a lighter skinned black male with a gray jacket.
Those are my students. 4 blocks away from Roosevelt. Yeah. 1684, I'm from the pump, so I'll just kind of head that direction. If someone gives me a description of a red car, it seems like I have all red cars popping out. So sometimes I'm stopping people that fit the description that may not be the suspect, but I have to try. A neighbor's calling in that some kids were seen around a house and the house alarm went off. So they're calling in suspicious activity. So the officers then respond and contact. And so they're out with people matching that description. And they came back as kids, so I'm guessing, or high school students. Kids are running.
And they did attempt to break in this house.
I've been to a couple seminars, and one of the seminars said, being a police officer is kind of like an outdoor cat that lives in the woods. You're always paranoid and hypervigilant. When I go to restaurants off duty, I always have to have my back to a wall and could stare at the door. People don't realize that that's how paranoid we are, but we're paranoid because I have 3 daughters that want me coming home. Right there, those are the kids. Get on the ground! 1684, we got him. 1684, we're at 6 points. Both of them are on the ground. Hands behind your head.
6 points, both of them on the ground.
Why aren't you in your class? So, those kids, even if they get arrested, are going to be back in school tomorrow or the next day. And the school not knowing that they got arrested for burglary is not going to help them out at all. So letting the school aware of their situation to try to help intervene a little bit. I shouldn't have skipped history class. Really?
I will off, like yesterday, I looked
Choice,
up.
history, breaking into a house.
Right.
Hello? At Roosevelt, we had a talk after an officer got into a fight with a student here. And there's a kid next to me, and he said, I don't like it when officers are racist. I said, dude, I'm right here. He goes, well, you don't count, you're okay. And I was like, there's more officers like me than there are officers that you're talking about. And I think they take one or two bad experiences and think every officer does the same thing.
Natasha Green.
So what I try to do with the schools and try to work with kids is have a positive experience with police, not just when things are going bad. If they see you around, if you go to games, then they can get a positive relationship with you. I can't make everybody think that police are good, but I can at least try a couple students at a time.
What would happen if everybody decided to get weapons because they thought that everyone else had weapons? What would happen?
It will turn out bad because then they'll think they have to protect themselves. But if they don't like a person, then they'll try to protect themselves from the person and then just bang bang.
Yes, we would have a lot of people getting injured or hurt for really no reasons at all. In my line of work, a gun is a tool. It's not a toy. We don't play with it. And sometimes people are not very safe with it and they can injure someone on accident, not on purpose. Yes?
I heard that this kid had a gun and this cop thought that he was pointing at it and he shot him.
So the problem with a lot of toy guns is I don't know if it's a toy or not. Some of these guns that we've taken off people, I think is a gun and it's a toy. How bad do you think that officer feels knowing they shot someone with a toy instead of a real gun? We have feelings. We're not cold and callous. So we want to make sure that if I have to shoot someone, which I hope I never have to do, I make sure that it's for a legitimate reason, not a toy. Yes?
I heard about that story about how they shot the kid with a toy gun, but then there was another kid that had a fully loaded gun and they didn't even shoot him, they just arrested him.
It depends on the situation. You don't know how, if someone has a gun and I think they have a gun and I point a gun at them and then they give up, put the gun down, then I would arrest them. My goal is to arrest someone with the least amount of force necessary, but if they point it at me, it's a different story. It takes a long period of time to change their opinion of police. They have to think of you as a person and not just an officer. If they look at you as an officer, they forget that there's a person behind there. That's how he packaged it. And he told Shore he sells it, but not here. It's 9233, so it's on this side. Isn't that strong? So what happened at school today? You had marijuana on you, but it was a little bit more than your normal.
Yeah.
So you told Miss Shore, I guess, that it's his?
Yeah, he stole it from me.
Yeah, I stole it from him.
Okay.
I was very disappointed because as you see, I do everything legally. I try to
Mhm.
make sure I even have my concealed permit. I've done my card. I have everything that I need. The thing is, right now, our parents are going through a divorce, and I feel like this is what has him acting out. Because I mean, his grades are improving in school. He has a job at McDonald's, so we really didn't expect this from him.
Okay, but the problem is the quantity he has would be inconsistent with a personal use, because 4 little bundles, that's consistent with the use of selling.
Yeah.
Dealing weed within 1,000 feet of a school is still a felony. That's what you're looking at. That's not, I don't take it lightly. I don't talk to every kid every time they have weed at Roosevelt, but that's a serious charge. So this is what I'm gonna do. I am charging you with the PCS, which possession 1,000 feet from a school. I'm not charging you with the DCS. The DCS is a harder charge. You can work with a DA on a PCS if the DA is even gonna prosecute you. But that's a good way for me to say this is gonna be a learning experience. If your family's dealing with enough stress, you don't need to add to that stress, and that's what exactly you're doing right now. So he said he was gonna sell it to someone. I could do a DCS. I could have, but would you have?
I would.
It's hard because the decisions that he makes and I make can screw that kid's life up for the rest of his life. That's a felony. 1,000 feet within a school with distribution, the DA still goes on that. So I want to be 100% sure and talking to a DA over the case before I charge that kid with it. I have a heart. I don't want to hook him up and screw up his life with a felony.
3613.
I've had quite a few people that hated me one year, and then the next year, you're okay, you're not that bad. And for them to say I'm not that bad, I figured is a win, and I'm good with it. Hopefully they can see that we're not profiling them.
So guys, we're gonna circle around the mat over here and sit on the floor this week. Just want to say thanks guys for coming to Squires Night. So for those of you that have never been here before, this is the weather report time. And so we just pass this around and we share what makes us mad, glad, or sad. Your turn, sir.
I thank you for, making an effort to message me, invite me on Facebook, stuff like that. Because I really ain't got no male role model in my life. Just being here with all these teen fathers, know that I ain't the only one, going through, and it helps me a lot.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm not alone on this.
I just want to thank you for sharing and just being vulnerable, man.
I don't regret having a son at an early age. It really opened up my heart, because I used to be a cold-hearted person. I didn't care about nothing. I was an a-hole, a straight a-hole. And he came in my life. Just turned things all around.
What's the latest on Shasta? What are we doing with school right now? Did you apply to the school online?
Shasta? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you thinking about taking your son with you, or are you going to leave him here?
He's going to be here. I talked to my moms, and then my son's mom about it. So they know that I got to go to college.
There's going to be months and months where you're not home, and people have to have a plan in place to be prepared for that. You're going to have classes, you're going to have practice, you're going to have workouts, you're going to have homework. And then somewhere in all that, you're going to figure out how to fulfill your responsibilities as a father. Because I'll tell you, 90% of guys that are planning to take this route never end up there. We've got to talk about all the really hard stuff ahead of time so that we know we can do it.
I would love for him to go to college. I didn't go to college. And it's a great opportunity to have your children to be able to do things that you didn't get a chance to do. It's challenging, when you raise children and you have to part with them for any amount of time, but he's furthering his education, and it's a good thing. He's setting goals now for himself so that his son will see that I can do this too.
I really wasn't a sports player. I just been the type of guy to just go to school and hang out. I experienced football, and I just took it. I feel like I can go somewhere with it. All the seniors had to vote for who was going to be captains. And I was like, I'm not going to be captain. I don't see myself being a captain of this team. I'm not even about to be worried about this. And then practice the next week, our coach called out the team captains and said, RJ Bryant. I was like, whoa, you for real? So I was like, oh, I'm a team captain. That means I really gotta pick up the slack, because people are gonna be looking at me. When it comes to the weight room, I'm like what a lot of younger kids look at. They look at me, ask me, what do you do, man, to get so strong, get so beefy? And I'm saying, like, you just have to be dedicated. Plus, you gotta stay out the streets. The night my friend Ty Gurule, he got arrested, he was caught up in a bad moment. He hang with the wrong crowd, and then all of a sudden he got stopped. Then things got out of hand.
Why is she punching him? Why is she punching him? Why are you punching him? Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? Get back! What the fuck?
After the video, I felt all type of anger, emotion. Like, cause I've been through some of this stuff too, but no cop has never, like, beat me.
This is where the incident was. It was past 9. Me and my friends waiting on the bus stop. And next thing you know, cops smashed up on here on the curb, lights on and everything, trying to say, well, we got a report that it was a bunch of kids that jumped a lady and they were screaming and fighting, and hopefully you guys don't fit the description and blah, blah, blah. And when you're trying to have fun with friends and then you're getting stopped by a cop, honestly, it makes you want to, retaliate. Like, why the hell is you messing with me?
Since that happened to Ty, I was kind of worried, like, what was his reaction gonna be after he feel better and all that. But he stood strong. He came to football practice within the next couple of days, came back to tutoring with us. It was just like the same Ty. It helped us with our attitude and our demeanor.
Altering a bit to where we want other people to focus.
My demeanor, my attitude, it's really been the same, but it got more serious. Like, I've been on more on a serious level. I'm say prayer. Say prayer. Oh, you playing. You know how to say that.
Yeah, College of the Siskiyous or Redwoods?
Siskiyous. It was cool. The college coach was telling me if you're not lined up in the correct spot, like, even if you're on time, they'll kick you out. If you're not lined up in the correct spot, they kick you out of practice for the day. 3 strikes, no matter what, you off the team.
That's crazy.
Like, they don't play.
I mean, that's good. Because
that come from a disciplined, good team.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to go play college football for my son, because if I get a full ride or anything, at the end of the day, I'm benefiting to the family. Either I'm gonna get a master's degree, or I'm gonna go to the NFL. Either way it goes, I'm gonna get there. Hit it like that. It's a lot of mental stress on my decision, but I'm doing it, sacrificing it, being with him on a day-to-day basis, my son. Yeah, I just been trying to focus on doing what's right for my son, for my family.
Dear Heavenly Father, please bless our young gentlemen and their road and their football careers, and bless all the hands that created and brought the food and allowed us to come together once again as a family.
I wanted to get some updates on where everybody is, starting with Brandon, who's going to end up, it looks like, down at College of the Siskiyous. The cool thing is RJ, sitting right next to him, looks like he's going to end up at College of the Siskiyous with Brandon. And they've been down there together and seen the campus. I hope it's a good experience for you guys. That's all I really wanted to do today, get an opportunity to take pictures with the families and celebrate one more time. And I also want to celebrate, we had a young man that was arrested earlier this year for fighting with police, and it was all over the news, and his name got cleared yesterday. He was completely acquitted of all charges, and not only that, the judge spent about 15 minutes going off on the police officers about lying in their police reports, and, well, one person potentially lying on a police report, and cleared his name. And it's good to hear that. I think a lot of people were questioning at the time, Coach Swain, why aren't you suspending him from the football team? And he's getting in fights with police, and it was so far out of character. He'd never been in any trouble, and so it didn't sound right to me. And I was really, really pleased yesterday to see that young man's name cleared, and so that's something to be thankful for as well.
God works in mysterious ways. I feel satisfied that Tiger Rule's case is closed and got handled the way it did. Both sides, we both have our wrongs. And we both need to recognize our responsibility as grown folks, as human beings.
I'ma stop crying when folks stop dying. I know you say you trying, but them politicians lying. You see them boys standing outside on the line. You see them boys doing nothing, holding sign. I don't wanna cry no more. Let it be. If they don't wanna try no more, let them be. I don't wanna cry. I don't wanna cry. I don't wanna cry. I don't wanna cry no more. I don't wanna cry.